So I walk in from work today,
Mm.
and the sneaker ferry had dropped off. You know what I'm saying? Blessings.
Word.
Shout out to the sneaker ferry. You know what I mean?
Big ups. Getting right for WrestleMania season.
Correct.
It's
And
that
you
time.
know, WrestleMania last year is probably the reason why I ain't cop these.
What you
You know what I mean?
because which
Spend, blow your dough in Dallas last year, and then
and
these
couldn't
Air
get them.
Max they hit right then. So I really, you know what I mean? I didn't have the I didn't think I didn't have the money cushion. You know how you like to have
Right.
that. So I was like, nah, I get them next time. But I got them under 200. I
Okay.
did I did a pair of Air Maxes. These are called the it's the this is the box.
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I
the
can only
evolution.
imagine what they're gonna look like.
So it's the evolution of icons is what the joints is called.
I remember hearing you talk about these.
They took a like they it's their Air Max ones.
Mhm.
And what they did was take a bunch of like classic Air Maxes and kind of put the pieces together. So they basically what the Air Max ones is
Right.
basically what they are. Right. So
Frankenstein them.
right. So these is
Oh.
them. The look, if the shoe just looked like
Oh.
this is a crazy sneaker right
That's
here.
crazy already. Yeah. That's like
Right.
3 or 4 different grays right there on the one
Mhm.
side.
It's got the Air Max date on the back
Ah,
tab and
yeah, the 326.
then the other one. Which listen, Air Max Day is great already because it's you know what I mean. It happens during Fanvember. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Of
But
course. Oh, word. Wow. No, that's really
yeah,
bright.
hmm
Damn,
yeah.
I
So
like
and then
that.
the back tab on these is just a regular
Oh no,
Nike
yeah,
Air, but it's like a plastic. Yeah, man. I've been wanting these for a minute since
I
last year.
really like those. I really like those.
So
I
yeah,
re-
man. You start the day with a sneaker win.
I have a pair of Air Max 90s, but they're like right here, but they're so like whatever. If I'm not mistaken, they're white. They were done for the Super Bowl whatever year. I think like they did it with Madden. So they're white and they had like one shoe has like paint kind of splatters of blue. The other one's got paint splatters of red. But like they're EA Sports. Like I would never wear these. I wore them once to the mall, and
Mhm.
they're not even my size. But I don't rock. Like when Air Max Day comes around, I don't have a pair of Air Max to really rock, and I don't know if that's. I like them. I just don't cop them like that. When I'm going again, when I get that sneaker cushion, it's like, all right, what pair of 1989 looking sneakers haven't I worn or owned in my life yet? You feel
Is
what I'm
it these?
Yes, it is those. It is those. Yeah, they're cool, but there's a lot going on with them, and
Yeah, they're busy. I mean, these are busy.
those are
Um,
those are cool. And the fun thing is like because you could do a couple of different things, outfit wise, with those.
so what do you? Are you a top down guy or a bottom up guy? Pause. When you're talking about an outfit, like, are you? Let's do the
Usually,
sneakers, and then you grow from the sneakers, or do you be like, all right, I want to wear this shirt. What sneakers are gonna go with it?
I think a lot of the time it may be the sneakers. I think because I usually have to like if it's a rainy day or like a day where I don't want to wear something I'm not gonna I don't want to mess up.
Mm.
That will change, the rest of the outfit. But I mean, there are times where the top will dictate everything else. Like I need to wear this shirt for this particular reason. But yeah, usually it's a sneaker thing. It's usually. How about you?
So it's funny. If I'm going to work, I start
Mm,
with the shirt, right? Like, all right, am I gonna do a rugby? I'm gonna do a button up. I'm gonna do a regular polo.
right.
Um, and then it's just all right, what sneakers go with it. But weekends, especially if I'm stepping out, I start with the shoes
Mm-hmm.
and come like go up. Like for these, really, I want a pair of sweats and a white tee, and it don't really matter what
It don't
color
matter.
anything,
You could put a hat on that may touch on one of the colors in there, and you'd be good to go. Yeah, yeah.
right?
Damn, I like those. You said you got so those was resale under two. That's good.
Correct. What's box? What's box? Box $1.50.
I was about to say box probably won something.
Yeah, box is $1.50. The receipt was in here somewhere.
Nah, and it would have been an Air Max Day special release or whatever. So yeah, that makes sense.
Correct. So I was my nephew's last basketball game was last week, and my niece pops up, and her father got her some shoes and some dunks, and I look down, and what do I see hanging off of it?
I'm not a fan of. I have no problem with StockX. I've copped a couple of pairs, but the wearing of the tag.
Yeah, she's young, right?
Yeah,
really,
that's
really young.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I like, hey, come on, niece, come here. Listen, those are very nice shoes. That green don't match it.
Gotta rethink that fit next time.
Right, and it don't go. You know what I'm saying? You don't need it. You know what I mean? They don't need to know where you got it.
Now, did you? Because that's always been a thing. Like I remember the hats, and cats used to wear the tag on the hat, which it would always annoy me. Once I get the hat and it's mine, I'm taking that damn tag off, and I got to throw the hat on. But people keep the sticker on the fitted, and it's just it'd be too much for me. At that point, I'm like, why even buy the hat? Just put it on the shelf.
Listen, my wife and I always had this thing. When we buy something, be a phone, whatever, it don't have that little plastic screen over top of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
My wife wants to ride it till the wheels fall off. Don't you take that goddamn protect. It came to protect it for a reason. Me, it just is so satisfying, and especially you can get it off in one piece, and you
peel that shit all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah, like so for me, I like to, just
you got to. It's part of the process though.
Mm-hmm. New hat, it's the same feeling. Get that because if not, 2 months go down the road and the stickers start getting a little grungy, grody. Now you take it off, but you got this brand new circle.
It's a whole
because it was protected. The goddamn 5950 sticker and protected that blue. So the rest of the blue is slightly off from that brand new fresh circle you got in the goddamn middle. You know what I'm saying? Listen, take the stickers off that stuff, man. Goddamn ABC got niggas still wilding out.
It's sad because that's what happens though. It'll be one thing, you'll see something on something, be like, damn, they so fresh. They ain't even popped the tags. They just got that shit. It's cool for me. Like now, when you buy something resale, and like I'll buy hats, and the hat will have. Matter of fact, I be saying stuff, but like I got a visual aid. I just bought this hat recently. Don't ask me why. I wanted to get a new hat for Mania season. It's a vintage NBC sports hat, but I hadn't even taken this out the plastic yet. This is a hat unboxing, but I grabbed it because it's still got the damn tag on it. Like that lets me know, like this is some real deal. I don't know. I wanted the hat. I really just wanted the hat, but I can't keep these on though. Like
so.
What's up?
Are they busting you in the head for that?
No. This is, you can get this like under 20, like with shipping. But you gotta, like, sometimes you gotta dig, like the as a matter of fact, sorry, my hat bin is right here. Like you would, like, people always go crazy over, like, if you're a Devils fan, like this year when they got the, they went to the cup or whatever, right, like now. It's facts. Like the people, but like I got this for like $24 early quarantine. Like it goes up a little bit, but it's a matter of fact, it still had the sticker on it. And this, you can go on there now and you'll see people that still have the sticker on it. It was just it's not, you got to just know what you're looking for, I think. But you can come up on some real deals for some really good prices.
If I could find a hat that looks something like that one right back there.
One right
back. That's a hat.
That I've actually that's one of those things that I've never looked for online. Like I don't know how like you always think, oh, that'd be crazy if somebody bootlegged this, so you could come. But like I don't know of anybody. Like it's such a random niche. There's gotta be one sitting around somewhere. I definitely in that office, and somebody got one sitting in there somewhere, but it ain't many.
Yo, so I feel like as old men, right?
Mm.
We often find our like niches, and that's what we spend that money on now,
Yeah.
right? Because we've kind of we've at this point we've got the house, we got a family.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's what am I into? What do I like to do? This is why you find men of our age, especially, you're seeing with a lot of they got a sneaker room,
Yeah.
or they got, you know what I mean? They got a million like pop figures in the background.
Video
Um,
games, yeah.
you are personalizing life at this point. Like you got it. Now you are adding your pieces of flair. Like god dang, what movie is that?
Office Space.
Office Space. You know what I
Classic.
mean? You're adding all your pieces of flair to your uniform. And I think that's especially black men grew up in hip hop. Like I feel like that's what we do now, right? We fill it up with the things that we couldn't get when we was younger. And then B, just the stuff that we're really, really into. Like this is where we kind of know ourselves more than we ever have, you know what I mean, before in our lives.
Yeah.
And now we can get, you know what I mean, not even, you know what I mean, you ain't got to be spending $1 million or whatever, but you can kind of get the things you more than you need.
Yeah, well, it's. I was thinking about this the other day when you talk. I forget what legacy act. It wasn't the Rolling Stones. It was one. Was it Billy Joel? Somebody was going on tour,
Yes,
and
Billy Joe, he's coming here.
the conversation came up about who wants to go see, and but you got to think it's like, yeah, he old, but he's still going out there and play his songs. But the people who loved his music when they were kids may not have been able to afford to go. Now they can afford to go, and it just so happens to be it's thousands of them. They'll fill out an arena, and he'll get paid and be able to do whatever. Like it all makes sense, but I think that's kind of all part of it. It's kind of what could you not get as a kid? What can you now afford to do? And you know what? Do you want to spend time creating a room dedicated to your lifelong hobby, or you putting it up your nose or putting it into a car or whatever? Like it's gonna go somewhere. It's just really on how you want to, like you said. I like the idea of personalizing your life at a certain stage. It's an interesting thought. It's a dope way of putting it.
Yeah, like I'm sitting at my desk and I know the older black man that sits on the other side of where I do at work has to think I'm half a nut, right? Because like I've got the regular, you have your work stuff and then you got your pictures of your family, but then I have a whole shelf of like pop figures.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's Run DMC and the brand new Bismarck, shoot, Rick James, Fred Sanford Lamont. So it's personalized to me.
Right.
But all he sees, this nigga got a bunch of toys.
He got toys on his desk.
You know what I mean? You a grown man, boy. Why you got the toys in the Hey, listen, man, that's my personalizing. You know what I mean? It's my it's my man cave for one. Like, you know what I mean? It's my desk space, and I'm gonna outfit it and kit it with my personality. And I think that's what you get, man. At this age, we know how to do it. We know what we like.
Right.
And it's why like we love graphic tees. It's why like as dudes, because we want people. I know what I like. Look, it's this.
It's right here.
You know what I'm saying? This is my favorite. I love this movie. I love this TV show. This is my favorite band.
You don't have to say anything because what I love is right here.
Right.
And sometimes it's on the back as well. No, but that's why I mean when you think about how that stuff can manifest, like it's not just people who own like vintage video games coming up on thousands of dollars. It's like it's why Griselda is able to be a thing. It's why certain styles of pro wrestling are able to still exist, because there's enough people with the money to chuck it and say this is what I want in my life. Here's the money, give it to me. And that's what it is. it's a fascinating time
It
in
yo,
some aspects.
it's such a conversation, especially like with sneakers, right? It's because you
Mhm.
talk worth. It's not real. Like you can't hold it,
Right.
right? So I buy these sneakers. Now the box tells me it's worth $150.
Hmm.
Now shipped, I paid less than I paid less than 200,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
So you saying I paid over the box price. So I paid more than Nike said it was worth. And I paid way more than someone who's just gonna go out and buy a pair of monarchs will feel about, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
But the worth is you determine it. So
It's you. Yes.
if you want to spend $4,000 on a pair of sneakers because you can't get it any other way, I can say that's crazy
Mhm.
because I wouldn't do it. But I can't tell you what them sneakers are worth to you, right?
Right. No, facts. I've 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 maybe paid a little bit more than I would have wanted to on certain things, but it's because it's got Trenton on it, or I know that there's no way I'm going to be able to find this particular thing in my size anymore, and I need that in my life. It makes sense, but it's also it's who was I was probably talking to your cousin about this the other day.
Mhm.
I was talking to somebody. I was talking to the idea of getting back to the way things are in life now, as we're, stepping further out of the pandemic or whatever. Like one of the biggest things has been Pokemon cards and a lot of these things that people are seeing. They're like you said, they're attributing a certain type of value to them because they're 25 years old, because
Mhm.
there's only so many of them and they're in pristine condition. And those markets went through the roof during a couple years into the pandemic. And sneakers is a great example with the vintage and the reselling and people going to Marshalls and all that stuff to get sneakers. It drove everything up crazy. Now that people are able to go back outside and they're not afraid to stand in line or however they're getting sneakers these days, because the game is a wrap anyway.
Mhm.
um that resale shit is it's not going down, it's kind of leveling out. And this is the point where people are like, well, damn, my money was way. They say the same thing happens with the OnlyFans people. That first month or two, it's crazy to see how much you're
Mhm.
getting from these people, but like 6 months later, when it really they're over you all the time,
Mhm.
it's a
It's
wrap.
so that's yeah, because the thing is, it's something new, it's something XYZ. But I
Exactly.
think the one thing that and I don't know why it feels like we're kind of coming out of it, right? But
Uh,
like passion used to be uncool, right? Like if you you care like that, nigga. Oh, look at you, emotion. You care
right.
is the wildest diss of all. Oh, you care. Look at it. Look at him emotional.
He
You care.
cares.
Look at you. It, that was a thing, and I feel like now everybody cares about everything. Like it may
Yeah,
be
it's too much.
pushing the other way. Like, oh my gosh, you eat Cheez-Its. What about the cow's milk goes into
Yeah,
the
no,
cheese?
yeah.
And all right, yo, like,
But the thing is you they only do that when it's the projecting outward, because you could poke hole. I remember, again, back before R. Kelly actually got like back before, not even like years ago. I'm talking before the BuzzFeed articles started hitting
mhm,
about this. Former coworkers being like still rocking with new R. Kelly music up until even like it was the Huffington Post interview.
okay,
And I'm like, so what? Like, it was now you're starting to see it, but like this, none of this is new information, but they're blinded because it's that thing that they like. And
mhm.
if you were to start combating them with some of the real on some of this other stuff, their head would explode. Everything is messed up. You could break it all down to like the most minute whatever. But then what are you doing?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? It's just like, yo, sometimes let people live, right? only time I'll say, listen, I stand up for yourself is when it starts to infringe on you being able to do you.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And so I think it's so I feel like it's so American, right? But it's like it's a pendulum. It's like politically incorrect. You got to be correct on everything. Now we're gonna make stuff up to be correct about, and it's and what ends up happening is it's like there's always a pushback because we've gone too far, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's always like an overcorrection. So we abused a certain people, communities have been abused, and then to correct it, you push back, but then sometimes it's like, well, now you can't. Now you're almost it's like a coddling thing. Like
Right.
now, so it's a real tough balance to get people right because that's
Right.
it's dang near impossible to get people right.
No,
'Cause-
I think that balance is the best word. I think it's a real tough balance when you realize that at not nobody is alike. Like you could have a group of 10 people, half of them could have the same ideology on one thing, but everything else could be totally different. Like and all of that plays a factor into trying to get, you know, everyone on the same page. But I think that's why it's key. You kind of just have to fight your fight. Don't try to hurt nobody. Don't try and infringe on nobody, and live your life. It's because it's all too short anyway. And I hate going back. It's really we got to just enjoy this time. That's why we buy the sneakers and get ready to go to WrestleMania and do these things.
Mhm.
It's you know, you who knows if you're going to be able to do that again. You gotta stop worrying about that nonsense. Just
Man,
wash your ass.
this how yeah, that's great. Yeah, whole time. All you niggas going to wrestling.
Just wash your ass, please.
He said it. No, that's why I knew I married the right person, right? Because and I feel like I don't know if I've told this on the Buffy. I know I've told this on Black Wrestling, but
Mm.
nigga, before I met my wife as an adult, like I never went like vacations and you know what I'm saying? I never did none of that. She
Right.
grew up doing that for the most part. You know what I mean? She went away, she lived abroad, all this kind of stuff.
Mm.
So for me, like meeting her, it was always all right. Well, let's do this and let's do that, and it was new experiences, right?
Mhm.
And to the point where she would have to like push me out, and I never forget my homeboy, one of my neighbors. This is what going on, what maybe 12, 13 years now.
Mm.
Yo hit me like, yo, basically, this is my wrestling buddy. Like I talked to him about pro wrestling. You know, I didn't have any podcast to be on at the time.
Right.
And so that's still him and Cuz are who I spoke wrestling with. So every year for WrestleMania, he all right. Well, we get a pizza, go in the basement, watch WrestleMania.
Word.
This particular year, I was like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying? It's your turn to buy the pizza. Yo, what's up? We getting ready?" He was like, "Yo, I'm going."
Oh shit.
Oh, that's crazy. That's what's up, man.
Right.
So week or so go by, he hits me. This is March 31st. It's and or it's either 1 or 2 days before. It's 2 days, and I can tell you why in a second. So
Uh-huh.
it's maybe it's my birthday just passed, and he hit me like, "Yo, my nephew ain't doing what he supposed to do in school. Whoever he had the tickets that was supposed to his godson or something, he was like, yo, I got all this extra stuff, yo. You split the gas driving to Atlanta. It was WrestleMania in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Miz and Cena. He was like, yo, you split the drive, split the gas, yo. Let's go. I don't know, son. I don't know. Haven't been anywhere. I have a brand
Right.
new kid. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I go home like, hey, babe, just a regular conversation. Yo, XYZ cross the street, man. This nigga talking about, yo, come to WrestleMania with you. She was like, when you leave?
You
I was like, nah, I ain't never been leaving y'all here. She was like, nigga, you better go ahead down the
Yeah,
street. Go ahead down the road. You may never get a chance to do it again.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
this was, he had gotten like all the big pack. Like we met Breakfast with the Champ and
Oh
goddamn
wow.
2 sessions of Access and like all this kind of stuff. Nigga, we met the Usos and Ricky Steamboat. And this is years ago before we did any of this stuff.
That's amazing.
And it was a dream come true. We did all kind of, you know what I'm saying? It was WrestleMania.
Word.
But my wife had to push me out.
She had to push you out the door. Yeah, I'm the same way. No, I'm the same exact way. It's
Yeah,
tough.
yeah, I don't want to leave that comfort zone, man. It get comfortable. It definitely get comfortable inside your own walls. You know what I mean? And you step out, you be like, oh no, I stuff out here. This is dope.
Right. But that's when people be in their own way, and I think that's why it's beautiful that we're able to do like things that we do, and the culture is able to grow the way it's able. I kind of wish, not that I got an invite, but seeing the video from the De La event, the tribute that they did last, right before, and they did the whole countdown for when the music was going up. That looked amazing. It was amazing to see stuff like that, and you want to make sure you can go to stuff like that if you have those opportunities, but people don't really. It's a lot of people get stuck in that way of I'm good right here.
All right, so this is a very impromptu show.
Yeah.
Right. But we gotta at least do something that we usually do on the show. So
Let's go.
on this week's Shooting the Five, hashtag ST5, hashtag Shooting the Five. And I'm gonna make you go first here.
Let's go.
Because I think this list is not gonna be that difficult for you.
Good.
Top 5 surreal moments that you've had in life.
All right. Damn, a lot of them are going to be in confined spaces with people. I rode an elevator. As a matter of fact, I had interviewed. Damn, all these. All right. These are in no particular order. When I went to London to do the X-Men X-Men Apocalypse. No, it wasn't Apocalypse. Dark Phoenix. X-Men Dark Phoenix, the press junket. And they had everybody was kind of paired up. And in the one room, it was literally Professor X and Magneto. And they're such good friends. They're sitting there. Because you can tell when people I don't want to say they don't give a shit, but like you have 3 minutes. Someone comes in there, they ask you kind of the same questions for a different outlet. They're just bouncing off the wall. I don't know if they had something to drink. I walk into that room, and I swear to God, Magneto is in there singing Marvin Gaye's "Trouble Man," and then Professor X picks up on it, and I felt kind of awkward because I'm like, I don't like. I'm a black.
Is this McElroy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It literally Magneto and Professor X sitting there singing Marvin, and I'm like, oh, okay. How do I step?
I was just making sure it wasn't Captain Picard and goddamn and Gandalf sitting there. Oh,
Gandalf. Now that was crazy. When we first were in the Time Life building, I don't know, NBC had a floor somewhere, and Carson Daly he rode in the elevator. He went in the elevator, and like 4 or 5 of my coworkers, we were all in the elevator. We were going to lunch. Quietest ride, like 20 flights down. He darts out the elevator. He said, I'm going. And everybody's just looking like, yo, that was Carson Daly. Like everybody had the same response.
My childhood.
Like literally, how many times you watch this man on MTV every day? I had a quiet elevator. Man, I've had quiet elevator rides with Fred Savage and Ja Rule. I just interviewed the director of one of the Logan films. And Fred Savage, he had like his FedEx. And I'm so like, I don't want to be in nobody. Like he wasn't doing anything but like trying to be a human. So I'm not going to be like, yo, the Wonder Years, blah, 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 blah. But I like,
hey, what would you do if I sang you a song?
I'm saying like he felt like he was kind of on guard because he probably gets hit up a lot. I would imagine that especially at certain times of his life. But yeah, I rode the elevator with Ja Rule, and I didn't want to say anything to him either. He was in my hotel. I don't know what floor he stayed on, but his shit kept going up. Is that 4?
If you were very, very quiet, you could hear him ordering room service. Can I get a burger? It's a burger. Burger, motherfucker.
My final surreal moment is in riding in the back of a soccer mom van on the way back from the photo shoot when I interviewed Skrillex. And I remember because it was so awkward. He was talking to me about that Netflix documentary about the dude. It was Jan Can Cook or whatever, like the dude that was making the sushi or whatever. Like he was really into the sushi shit, and he was making this big metaphor about his life. And then he turns around, he's like, "Oh shit!" And we look, and like, it was a part of somebody. We're on the freeway. It's a part of somebody's wheel came off, and their car was sparking and shit. And we just kind of like casually just having this conversation. It's like. But again, it's just like that's kind of how life is. It's like, you going where you going. So while shit is happening over there for somebody else, and you kind of just hope that everybody make it home okay. But yeah, I don't know. All the weirdest shit happens when I'm doing interviews, apparently. But anyway, what about you? What about you?
So for me, number 5, being at Morgan State's homecoming, and Ben Jealous was running for office, and his cousin, or is it godbrother, cousin, I'm not sure, is Dave Chappelle. I don't know why Ben Jealous thought this was a good place to come and speak to the people, right? Like, we are drunk. We've been drinking all day long. It's a tailgate. You know what I mean? The game, I don't know if the game was still going on or was it just over? Ben Jealous come out there and he's talking to the people and he brings out cuz. Dave Chappelle, ow, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? He come out and it's a serious thing. He doesn't have material.
Right.
He's like, here's my cousin, Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle for us. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he comes out, I was like, nigga, I don't know.
I guess like the jokes, motherfucking jokes.
Like, he was like, look, man, this probably is a terrible idea. Y'all drunk. But look, man, my people's got something to say. Go on, listen to him. You know what I mean? But Dave is like here.
Right there.
Right. To where, you know what I mean? You putting your hands right on Dave. And it was crazy. That's you know nuts. What I'm saying? It was right. So that's surreal number 1. I ain't gonna lie to you. Last year at Wale Mania.
Oh, I bet.
The whole thing. Through the back door, pause. You know what I mean? They rush us in. As soon as we get in, before we even get to the space, there's a goddamn back the step and repeat joint, and we taking pictures.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like we walk in the door, and celebrities are cool. Like, we saw a great deal of pro wrestlers, but getting outside and niggas being like, "Fam, man, I'm so happy to see." It's the most like you. Taking it back to that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
He's been making the rounds on a couple of different podcasts recently. I used to be a really big Cannabis fan. Like, I have the Cannabis wax right over here. My homeboy is an alumnus of Towson State University. When we were in the rap group Ill Fam, he was our manager, right? And he was the resident hip hop DJ at Towson State. So the Wyclef All Stars were on tour for the carnival, right? And this is kind of like Fuji's. It's basically Fuji's refugee camp All Stars post Lauryn Hill. So it's like everybody that was down with that crew. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the BDP crew.
This is not. I used to smoke cigarettes many moons ago. It's been almost 15 years since I had a cigarette. So you smoke cigarettes. So I'm outside smoking cigarettes, and John Forte walks on me. Hey, yo, my man, you got a cigarette? Like, yeah. It was like, yeah. He sounded like Hulu RZA, and so
Hulu RZA.
So we sit there, and he's got beers. He had Heinekens. I had smokes. We sat and kicked it. I didn't realize it was John Forte.
No.
We're in the back of the arena. It's dark. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, you know what I mean? Yeah, we my man. So we also he was the opening DJ. Shout out DJ Rob Matt Flavor. Mm-hmm. And so he basically snuck us on to open for Wyclef, right? He just said, he just played the instrumental. He said, when I play the instrumental, nigga, run out there and rap. Nigga, they booed us out the auditorium.
You got through the whole song now?
Yeah. Well, we finished and ran off stage, you know what I'm saying? Like the 5 heartbeats. But I haven't even gotten to the most surreal part yet, right? So we see Prize Carell come back there and he's talking crazy. Hey, yo, nigga. Yo, what's up, God? Like, how you gonna call a nigga a God? And how you gonna call a God a nigga? What's wrong with you? Witnessing that is insane, right? But this still isn't the most. This is the mixtape era. So this is when Cannabis is on DJ Clue tapes. Guantanamo was the single. That nigga, when I tell you we're sitting around the back of the arena, Clef is inside. The chick from the Guantanamo walks around the corner. And that's the face we made, right? And then niggas see my eyes get bigger than that because who was talking to her coming around the corner was Cannabis.
Oh, shit.
Cannabis comes, and then, like, I am the resident Cannabis fan at this point. You know what I mean? So Cannabis comes around the corner and daps everybody up. Cool. I remember the nigga had long nails and he had a tight grip. I didn't like it. So we sitting on steps. The nigga Cannabis comes sit right with us. So now it feels like that elevator that y'all were on with
Carson Daly.
With Carson Daly. Niggas ain't saying nothing.
Right. Cannabis, man.
You know me a long time. I couldn't just sit there and say nothing, right?
Of course.
So I just start interviewing. I don't have podcasts don't exist. This is a year that starts in 90 something. It's like 99, 98. There's no iPods to be a podcast, right?
At all.
But I'm already podcasting. Cannabis, nigga, how you get so nice? This is stupid. Like nobody's rapping like you. How do you get so nice? Hey, yo, you know, it's like your man might be playing ball, but you in the lab perfecting your pen. And that was the answer he gave me.
There you go.
So that night is, what was that? Is that 3?
This is 3rd. Yeah.
Number 2.
Damn.
God dang it. No, because it's been some cool stuff.
Nah, right.
Number 2 is probably drinking Cavassier at the record pool in it's a PG County, Maryland. It's a hotel. The record pool is where a bunch of DJs, like the record companies or the local reps give out the wax to all the DJs local. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This is before MP3s and you know what I'm saying? Everybody just get an email. So they were actually handing out wax at these things, and they always bought some of the rappers. Like we met Black Thought. We met Black Thought. I remember it was a bunch of Kedar Massenberg artists. So we met like 8+ the Latchkey Kid. But the most surreal thing about the Direct Drive record pool was drinking Cavassier with Exhibit.
Damn.
Right. He did. It's weird because you always hear like, what you see is what you get.
Right.
He's a super smiley, joking nigga.
He was really the Pit My Ride nigga.
Right.
Yeah.
And drink Cavassier. So that was dope.
That's dope.
Also at the with the homie. Well, that's gotta be number 1. Number 1 is probably Ilfam again, Towson again, but this time it's a cipher. And So in it, it wasn't as ill as it is telling it, right?
Right.
But it's still the craziest story. And I love, and I always tell people this, is you can always ask cuz this. I don't make stuff up. I'm not lying. My validation is my cousin. He's right there with me. We're in a cipher with Slum Village. And we're going crazy to the point where Fife comes and gets Slum Village out of the cipher, including Jay Dilla.
He said, "Can't do that. Can't do that. Take your ass back. You got ain't ready for that type of action yet."
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's my man. It was always a bunch of stuff, man. Back then, and then the stuff now. You know what I mean? The folks we get to talk to now, it's still going crazy.
The fact that there's certain legends or superstars that are trying to make sure that presence is known is that's the kind of stuff you don't even think about when you crack a mic and just start talking about personalize your life. Is podcasting would podcasting fall into that?
I think so, right? Because now listening to podcasts, I think is the personalization really, because you can find a podcast about just about anything. A niche of a niche of a niche. Like you could be like a fan of like combat sports, and then you tweak it again, pro wrestling, and then you tweak it again, black pro wrestling. And then if you wanted to, you go independent black pro. Like you could go all the way to eventually they're just talking. So this is the podcast for fam about all the stuff he likes. So about battle rappers that wear dope kicks and like wrestling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Jesus, no, that would be nice. That'll happen. That's what AI is for, huh? In about 10 years, that's what you're gonna type into a computer. This is what I want. Maybe 5. It's coming up really quick. This is what I want, and you're just gonna get a whole universe of that shit.
Did you see the video this week? And I don't want to get too pro wrestling yet at the Buffy, right? But the dude asked the AI, I guess Google has an AI or whatever. The dude asked the AI, "Hey, tell me why WWE is better than AEW." And it and then it ripped off like a paragraph of like, well, they'll never catch up to the legacy. They run their production value is this, and the next day, buddy come back, says, "Hey, AI, tell me why AEW is better than WWE." And so I guess it like mines the internet.
That's literally what it is. That's the key. I watched the video, and that's the key. And that's where the problem comes, because it's based off like the key to this is you want it to have no bias, but because its job is to absorb all this information and spit it back to you like it's a person talking to you, it will pick up on. So that there's the one thing that the conservatives they're like, you don't want it to be like, well, why is Donald Trump bad? And they give you an essay and then say, well, why is Barack Obama bad? And it's like, do not compute, or we can't, like, you got to be able to have it do both things, and it a lot of the time it isn't.
Yo, so my first experience with it, the first two things I saw, of course, were the pictures that everybody was doing like a month ago, right? But then right after that, there was a thing where it would mine your Twitter and tell people who you are.
Oh,
yeah.
We can't. I mean, the thing is,
it'll write your bio for you, basically.
I've seen there's been reports of like kids in English class getting AI to write essays for them. There's a couple journalists that I know that I found just randomly on Facebook, because again, it's fascinating. You can ask it to write a review of an album. It'll spit it out, because again, and with so many with the internet being free and everybody being able to start a WordPress, you can I have a blog that they could mine from, and at a certain point you're going to be able to pick up on key phrases and certain relationships between words and things that are good and bad, and certain, like, it's not hard to do it if you just have to give them the fucking open internet and say learn about people. That's
Mhm.
all it is. It's only scary when they flip the switch and they make it Skynet, because right now it's not Skynet. Right now it's Skynet with the safety on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no programming to say anything but information. Like it's still a program. It's not
Yeah,
sentient.
yeah, I think that's the thing is it's still a formula. It's still like if A then B, right? So
Right.
then like they like, all right, who is this person? So it just the I think what's being done are the calculations are just more complex. They
Yes.
figured out how to figure out more things. And based upon it's just how they do it's the this all comes from how like Google and Amazon like mine your information now, like
Oh yeah.
to what ads to show you. It's the same tech.
Well, you know what's funny? The photos that you've seen, the photos of like yeah, like the women, and they're like, oh my god, you can have it generate this, you don't need that. They never get the hands right. But I always my brain, like if you look at those photos, you'll see like their fingers will be all fucked up. It's like everyone, there's always something, or like they have 6 fingers, like one finger is like, or
Huh.
you don't see no hands. Like the update was do the AI, but their arms is behind their back, or like their arms is up here, or whatever, like that.
Make a
But
fist.
100%, and it's there's just still things that they just don't get. But it's not far. We have, like I said, we have that like cookies and on websites to give you ads is like low key, because it's all learning from you. My phone, machine learning is all it really is. It's trying to anticipate what you're going to do next based off of the actions that you do all the time. Like if it knows that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon you're going to go to YouTube and you may search for a video on hip hop, at 4 o'clock, if you go into YouTube, there should be some type of hip hop video right there, like that. That's all the algorithm. It's all lower forms of this. It's just now we're at the point where that shit is talking to us.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. What's if you looked at your phone right now, what's on your YouTube?
On my YouTube, it's probably I've been following this channel called SNES Drunk. Like I'm getting a weird YouTube holes right now. I'm watching a lot of stuff on old Super Nintendo video games, especially a lot of stuff that like I'd either never played before, stuff that like was like Japan only. Just getting like the history of that stuff. If it's not that, there may be like a true crime a series, the next installment, or like I found this one guy that I don't really like, but I like the way that he's this guy, he's like a psychiatrist, and he analyzes cases that go on in the world. He's really good at researching, but when it comes to like his opinion on things, I don't always rock with him, but I'll watch him because I like the way that he breaks the stories down. So any variation of that stuff.
That's a new thing is um enjoying people's process now, right? Because you don't like you I know for me personally, I'm no longer just taking the content. Now it's like, oh yo, that's a nice shot. Well, how
Yeah.
did he do that? I didn't think about it like that. Like, why is he, you know what I'm saying? Like I like is it MKHD or whatever?
Yeah. Shouts out to Marcus, what's the name? The black dude.
He does a lot of dope content, but he'll also show you his setup.
Yes.
So he'll do like his tech reviews. Those are cool. But I like when he
MKBHD.
yeah,
Marquise Brownlee. Marquise Brownlee. I don't know
yes,
who.
that's
Yeah,
him.
he's dope. He's dope.
Him, shout out to it's a guy, oh gosh, it's a men's Jeff, excuse me, Jeff the Style OG. You know what I mean? Jeff the Style OG, who it's basically what Kevin Samuels did before he did the relationship stuff.
Right, because he
Like
had
if
a
you
whole other thing.
right, like he reviewed like clothing and fragrance, which is one of the things I'm heavy into. And so he would sit there and he would also kind of like you go to the store, right? And you you got to go to, let's say, a wedding. Let's make it festive.
Yeah.
You got to go to a wedding, and so you got to get a suit, right? So you go and you buy it piece by piece. You don't know to go to Joseph A. Banks. You go to I don't know, department store,
Right.
and you start buying it piece by piece by piece. Say you buy the suit, and you get your shirt, and you get your socks. They've got this notorious thing that they sell. It is a tie. It's a box.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tie on one side and a pocket square on the other.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, if I sell you, if I'm selling cigarettes and I give you matches, it means you're supposed to light the cigarettes on fire.
Right.
Right? When you are wearing a tie and a pocket square, they are not supposed to match. Right? But you've seen them come together for years.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure, tie to tie, stuff they got their pocket square. Yeah. No, you are absolutely not. You look country when you do it, and you are not a well-dressed man. Sorry, you are not. The pocket square matching the tie is not the flex that you folks thought it was.
That's really
Us
basic,
folks,
yeah.
I didn't know any better either, and I did the same thing. You're supposed to match the pocket square with either like a secondary color in your suit or like the color of your shirt or something.
Word.
So, like, but those things, like, those are the things that you that I know I'm into, like knowing the proper fragrance, you know, what to wear when, you know what I'm saying? You don't want going to the office with the super loud club fragrance,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just those sort of things. So that's really a lot of what's in my my repertoire as of late.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That and a bunch of Eric Voss.
Yeah, we once we get into some of them other lanes, it's a whole nightmare on the other side.
Son, do you know they got a new channel? They've been promoting the heck out of it, right? They got a new channel now, which is separate from their regular like Marvel breakdowns, where they do deep dive on like all sorts of movies.
Oh, I love that stuff too.
They just did Back to the Future, and I think I saw Unbreakable today.
I just watched an Unbreakable thing the other day. There's one channel. It's called The Vile Eye, but the series is called Analyzing Evil. And what he does is he takes, and the videos are usually about 17 to 20 minutes, depending on the character. But he'll take a villain and just break down the story of the villain from the medium that he chooses, and then at the end of that, he's like, the whole idea is this person really evil? And sometimes they are, yeah, that's an evil person, they've been evil. Sometimes they were evil because of, but it's very, and it's not like he'll go in depth. Like I think the Tony Soprano episode may have been an hour. He's done full breakdowns on Saul Goodman and Gus Fring, and the Walter White one's phenomenal as well. It's a really well done series. And he's got like it's a monotone voice, but it's really deep. But it's a very ill voice to hear. The whatever. The way he's putting together these episodes, it's a really dope package, but it's not too like loud or anything. It's really, it's got a focus and it does its thing. But that shit can be sickening at a certain point.
Yeah, you listen too much of anything. Too much of anything can go crazy, man.
Thanks.
I don't want to really belabor the point. I think this is what we got this week.
I think that's what I think we done did it. I think we done did it, Podfather.
What again? Another one, man. You know what I mean? Another one. Casual Monday. The hammer and the chisel. I mean, it's hey, listen, man. At Where's Buffy on all social media. Please hit that follow. If you're watching this Friday night, we are not live in the chat. Our apologies, but please go crazy. Also, yeah, if you're doing Tuesday, man, also, you know what I mean, run the likes up, hit that share button for us, man. And I guess that being said, I am IlFam79 on your social media choice, aka the Aunt Anderson of podcasting, Captain Brew Albano, Brew Diamond Phillips, Sticky the Dragon, Steamboat, Pod Champ, Pod, God's favorite podcaster, Potty Pipe, I'm in a podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and I'm all out of Dead Teen Nice, the Senior Love Daddy of WFAM, where family always matters, and my tag team partner.
It's your boy Cal. I'm most finger weight. No, I'm just kidding. But shouts out to the squad for real. Everybody, whole Buffy, love y'all. Whole Black Wrestling, love y'all. Yes, anybody tuned in, love y'all. Where's Buffy.com? Where's Buffy.com? Where's Buffy.com? That's it. We out.
Yeah, man. Peace.